So, I've talked about this before. I got picked on a lot. And sometimes people don't believe me because they're like, how? You're huge. But I didn't turn huge till after high school. I grew 8 inches in 1 year. From 18 to 19. Literal growing pains. Like American Werewolf in London shit. Like just my body just going, me falling out of a twin bed going, Mom, why am I growing? So then, because I would have used this shit in high school, but I didn't. So in high school, I got beat up by a girl at school in front of everybody. Another girl saved me, my friend Tracy, but I was like, don't ever do that again. That was worse. And then I got beat up by a special ed kid at high school. These jocks told this kid that I had fucked with some of his stuff. I hadn't. They told him I threw his shoes up on the gym. Would I do that? Fuck no. I didn't do that. I can't tell this kid. I tell him, but he doesn't listen. He's hitting me with a Space 1999 lunchbox. And the whole time I'm like, dude, I'm the only one here who also knows Space 1999. Like, you're bad at making friends, special ed kid. Have you seen Battlestar Galactica? That shit's amazing. So I took some hits. Later, I got into a nerd fight. I fought a fellow nerd at high school. We had the fight after school. But I was the metal nerd in my neighborhood. Met this dude named Ian, and he was the punk rock dude in my neighborhood. And we became friends. We bonded over being shitty at skateboarding and video games. And we were friends for a while, about 1.5 years. And then one day at high school, he decides we're not friends anymore. I think because I wanted to fuck his stepsister. I don't know. It's a long time ago. But he decides we're fighting. He tells everybody we're fighting. Everybody at school wants to see the nerd fight at the end of the day. So kids come to our bus stop that don't even live in my neighborhood. Like, our bus pulls up, and then all these Camaros pull up and shit. And Mustangs, because it was the 80s. A couple of El Caminos. Night Rangers playing. They weren't there, but they were bumping from somebody's car. That would have been cool if they were there. They're a Bay Area band. They're like, hey, we're here for the nerd fight. We're going to play Sister Christian twice. You Can Still Rock in America once, and then we're going to get out of here. Let the nerd fight commence. But no, they were just playing out of a car. So we square up. I've never fought anybody before in my life. I've never had any training. I've had people offer me. Like, there was an old dude in my neighborhood who was also the wrestling coach. And I used to ride by his house on my paper route. And he was always like, Po-Sing, come in here and I'll show you how to take a punch. No! That sounds awful. That's how I wind up in your basement with a gas rag in my mouth. So I don't know how to fight. I'm back on the bus. I don't know how to fight. I get off the bus. We're in a circle. I've got to do this. We take our glasses off because we're both nerds. Put our glasses away, and then we go at it. But I don't do anything. I'm just like mostly half hugging him and just trying not to get hit, and he's trying to punch me. And I'm like, this sucks. I thought we were friends. And his glasses fall off. And I'm like, oh man, this is the ultimate asshole move. But here's how I end this shit. So I just fucking stomped on his glasses. I'm a dick sometimes. Turns out they were my glasses. I didn't even look. I'd never been confident about anything before in my life. I chose that moment to have confidence finally. I was like, this is how I end this. Ha ha. Smash. Everybody's like, oh man, pointing at me. Night Rangers laughing. My glasses are now in like 6 pieces, and I have to walk home to our shitty apartment and tell my mom that Ian stomped on my glasses. That's the low point. Things get better. I start yelling about my dick into a microphone. and I have this crazy life. I mean, I'm not the most famous comic in the world, but I have great memories. I've met my favorite bands. I've met musicians, people I worship. I got to meet Rush. I'm friends with the two nice guys in Metallica. I once had Rob Zombie say this to me 16 years ago. Rob Zombie said, "Hey, you want to get shot in the face?" I'm like, "In a movie?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. Let's put it in a movie." That's not everybody else's dream, but that's my dream, to get shot in the face in a horror movie. I'm living my dreams. I've met the funniest fucking comedians in the world. You know, everybody. I've worked with Rickles here. Chicago Theater. In my 20s, I opened for Rickles. It was one of the best things that fucking ever happened to me. It was amazing. But I've had this long career, man, and I worship things. I worship my relationships, these friendships I made. In 94, I moved from San Francisco to Los Angeles, and I was living with a couple people, couple comedians, and my manager. And we had a 3-story house in the hills there where Manson did his business. Well, his people did his business. He just sat around. That's my Manson. I've never done that before, but it's pretty dead on. I don't know why I digress and do a Manson in my special. You fucking idiot. Get through this joke. So we had the Northridge earthquake. It's a big earthquake. Happens in 94. And I've been through a bunch of earthquakes because I grew up in Northern California, so I'm used to them. I was like, this is fucking nothing. You know, so I just grabbed my weed and ran out of the house. And then we found out after the earthquake, during aftershocks, that if you could go to certain places of the house and you could shake the house, it would feel like an aftershock, right? So my roommate and I found out that if we went to the second floor, where our rooms were, and shook our windows, it would feel like an earthquake on the 3rd floor. So we did that to all our friends. I pranked people all the fucking time. So many. I had my girlfriend at the time. At one point, she's like, "Stop fucking doing that!" I did it like 60 more times. So I can't let go of a joke. I thought it was so funny. Dave Chappelle's in our house one day from Comedy and Controversy. And name dropping. We're hanging. Maybe we were smoking weed. We were. We were playing 90s video games, but then you just called them video games. A little Sega. We're hanging out. And out of nowhere, Dave goes, "Man, I hate earthquakes." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, dude, me too." I'm looking at my roommate like, oh shit. He goes on, because he grew up on the East Coast. He's not familiar with them. They freak him the fuck out. He hates them. I'm like, enough. I wait a little bit. I give my roommate the signal. We head down to the second floor. We go to our window frames. I shook that window frame so fucking hard, and like the longest I'd ever done it, like 45 seconds. This is like an 8-pointer, like, and it's lasting. It's rolling. I'm shaking the shit out of the house. We go back upstairs. True story. Dave was gone. We found out later from his management that we scared him so bad, he ran down, didn't even see us on the second floor. Ran to the first floor, ran outside of our house, got into his rental car, drove to the fucking Los Angeles airport, and flew the fuck home. I haven't seen him in 26 years. If you see that dude, ask him if he still hates earthquakes.